Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Grapplers Academy. Today we are back again with another in the instalment of requests for favourite submissions. Today I'll be showing another variation from a kimura setup. Slightly different from what we went through in the previous one, and this one's more to do with the finer details on the arm position. Leads into a little bit of a sneaky mounted triangle.
And this sort of end position that you end up in as well, there's a lot of options for you there as well. You've got a very solid game around this position, and I know that if I'm underneath you and you're looking for that, I am not letting you get me up on my side at all.
I think the fundamental thing with all of this position is utilising that kimura grip. We talk about it a lot, and I talk about it a lot. I believe that the kimura grip is probably one of the strongest grips, if not the strongest grip in grappling. 100%. And as long as you can maintain that throughout all this series of techniques, you've got a good opportunity to come up on something else if you're not having success with the initial technique that you're going for. So let's just quickly go through from side control through the setup and how to get to that. We'll just cover that for 2 seconds, but there is a previous video on how to get into this, which you should go and check out beforehand, because there's quite a lot of detail in how to get to this position. And then we'll go through a little bit more on, well, certainly more on how to get into this position, the difference between whether they defend with the arms in or whether you're able to get underneath the arm. So if we start from, let's go from here. So we're going to be in side control. We're going to have an underhook on the far side, and we're going to have this cross-face pressure. First thing that we're going to do is bring the elbow up onto the stomach, slide the knee in, bring the head over, and we're stepping over. Okay, so this is the first position that we're going to get to. Now the important thing in terms of a distinguishing difference on this is actually what's going on the other side, and it's where I've got my leg. So let's spin around now that we know that we're in that position. And the previous technique that I showed in terms of the step over would be if the arms are here and we can't break this grip, and we're going to step over onto the hip and start attacking for the omoplata variation. How we just showed it here when we've come up is that we managed to scoop underneath on the arm, and this is the key difference on this one. So we've actually got his arm trapped. It's going to be a lot more difficult for him to join his arms to get it to fight like that. And we could probably break that a little bit easier than we could do in the other scenario, but we want to try and stop him before he gets to that point, really. What I'm going to do is fall off to my opposite side. I'm going to make sure that I'm cupping his arm at the same time. So we're going to fall through, and then from there, the important thing that I really want to make sure that I do is get my shin and my calf below his shoulder, in his armpit. If I try and complete a triangle choke here, with my leg above his shoulder and armpit, I'm not going to be able to put the right pressure on because I'm squeezing on his tricep, and if we were here looking, there's actually a gap on his neck which isn't going to cut off both sides of the arteries on the neck. So what I need to do is deeply grab on the shoulder as much as I can and pull him into me as I'm kicking my leg up and trying to get my knee and my calf as deep in on this as I can. That makes that a lot tighter, and all we're going to do from there is traditionally squeeze like we do with the triangle and bring the legs together and get a nice tap there on the finish. Just a quick one from the normal mechanics on a triangle. If we just have a look at the way that would look from a normal triangle from underneath, the difference from what we're talking about is here. If my leg is above the shoulder, it's going to be more difficult for me to get a good finish on that. I might be able to if I create a good enough angle, but it's going to be much more effective if I can get his shoulder through as well. A lot more pressure there. So that's the thing that we're talking about when we're in this kimura position. So one more time, I think we'll go on that angle with it. So we're here, we managed to come up and get his arm scooped in. We've got the kimura grip still on his arm, and we're dropping off to the side and maintaining the kimura grip for the time being. I'm going to keep this with my arm, keep it pinched tight to my body, while I reach through and grab his armpit and his shoulder. As deep as I can, the better, because that's going to allow him to pull him into me as I kick this leg through and try and dive deep behind the back of his shoulder, lock my legs up, squeeze, and get the finish.
It's very secure that position when you get there, and I see, it feels like I was saying, loosen my neck up a little bit that as well.
if you want to be a friendly chiropractor on the mat, it's not a bad option as well. But as Simon was rightly saying at the beginning of this video, maintaining that kimura grip is important, and keeping it tight to your body. If this doesn't work, you've got other options off the back of it with that strong grip.
Yeah, definitely. And again, make sure you hit us up on all the socials. We've got Bonafide PT at Coach by Si, and we're at the Grapplers Academy across all platforms, even on Spotify, iTunes. Make sure you hit us up as well and let us know what you want to see. Like I say, this is the sort of last technique of the year, so we're going to sort of end it with a strong one, and we're going to hit the new year with some new concepts and some new techniques. But if there's anything you want to see, any themes, positions, theories you want us to discuss, please let us know, and we will be happy to discuss it, demonstrate it, and also help develop your game that way as well.
Yeah, we also talked on the podcast, the audio podcast, a couple of weeks ago about introducing ideas around strength and conditioning onto the channel.
Yeah.
If that's something that you want to see, let us know in the comments. Do you want to see more from the jiu-jitsu point of view, or do you want to see more for the assistant stuff from the strength and conditioning that can help your jiu-jitsu on the mats? Let us know in the comments. But other than that, everything else is on the Grapplers Academy, social medias, YouTube, everything. Go check it out. Make sure you're listening to the podcast audio form as well.
Definitely. And have a great new year.